Hello and welcome to Athena's Creations. I'm Athena Turk, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2017. And this evening I've got a couple of beautiful cards using the Love and Courage stamp set. This is a standalone stamp set in the new mini holiday catalog. And it is part of the 24-hour sale, which I think Central Time you have about 4.5 hours left to order. So get these at 15% off. This is a really fun card that I designed. There's lots of great ideas out there. We've got lots of beautiful pink colors. And then we have another one that with a technique that I'm going to share with you this evening. 2 cards. I'm kind of in the middle of some other fun projects to share in the next coming weeks. The gingerbread man, also the pine tree trimmings with shaker elements and some gift boxes and treats and things like that. So I've got a few things I'm working on that I'm going to be sharing in the next couple of weeks. But I did want to highlight this amazing stamp set. I just recently got it. I didn't know when that stamp set was going to be, and I didn't know it was going to be including the holiday catalog, which is really awesome. And then some of the stamp tools are also included. But that is only a 24-hour sale, so hopefully you can get in on it and don't miss out. But let's go ahead and point the camera down, and we're going to go ahead and get started. One moment while I adjust the camera. There we go. Alrighty. This should do it. And this actually is a red rubber stamp set. And once the cling red rubber is completely sold out, it will be photopolymer. So if you're a real big red rubber cling stamper person and you love it, keep that in mind. You might want to get those orders in sooner rather than later. I'm just adjusting the camera just a tiny bit. All right, so let's get started. We're going to make this using the Dove. Like I mentioned, I just recently got this stamp set, Love and Courage. It's at the beginning of the new mini catalog, and I knew right away when I saw it that I wanted to pair it with Peace on Earth and the Dove dies. It just to me goes together very, very well. And so I didn't put anything on the inside, and since this is a real pretty deep color, I probably will need to do that before I send it out. But I'm using a couple of different dies, and then of course some pretty ribbon, the little dove. It's just Dove of Peace. It's beautiful. It just kind of, to me, it just sets off this card. And so here's all the pieces to this one. We have a workshop this Saturday, so hopefully some of you will be able to join us. I'll have everything just like this, ready to go for you to come and stamp, just like that. That's where I try to get a head count a little ahead of time, if possible. Let's see. So this is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5. This is one of our regular A2 fold cards. This one's not a fancy fold or anything like that. And then I went ahead and I ran this through this really amazingly popular folder, the Sunflower 3D embossing folder. It's huge. So if you're a scrapbooker type person, you could definitely use a page in your scrapbook using this beautiful sunflower and some of the techniques. This has been one of those not orderable, then it came back in stock. Then it was not orderable again and it came back in stock. It's currently available. So throw that in your cart too if you're wanting to order that one. As you can see, it's got gorgeous texture. It's 3D. That's the embossed side, the de-embossed side. I mean, they're both gorgeous. And there's lots of techniques out there that you can do. I thought about doing that with this one, but wanted to keep it simple and pink. But I've seen where you can get your, I there's a term for it. I should have written it down for you, but you can get your ink spot and rub it all the way and just give it some nice deep color. Now this is going to be the front of my card. I'm using my Stampin' Seal Plus, so I'm just going to use a little bit. It's very strong adhesive, so it's going to hold everything in place. Sadly, I realize, of course, that this is going to cover it up a little bit, but that's okay. Again, just a little bit right there. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp. I've got my Stampin' Right marker. This one's Secret C. The markers are being faded out, so that's another thing. If that's on your list, you might want to throw that in there, because once they sell out of stock, they will not carry it anymore. They will be carrying the blends. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so now we're going to get out this beautiful stamp, and it doesn't have any dies, but yes, you can see circles of any kind, whatever you have in your stash. I don't know that I have a punch that big, but you know, die cuts work very well. I went ahead and die cut it ahead of time. We're going to use Melon Mamba, another gorgeous pink color. And then I normally would bring the ink pad to the stamp, but I want to make sure that there's plenty of coverage. And I believe my ink pad probably needs to be re-inked, so it's a little lighter than I had expected it to be. And I guess you could say sunflowers, oh, those should be yellow, but it looks really good. And just wait for a couple of seconds to let the ink soak in. And if you mess up, you can always flip it over. So as you can see, that looks pretty good. All right, so next. And I really wanted this really nice design to show through, but I'm thinking I probably should have got the next size up, because I used the, oh, let's see, it's over here. I used the set, this one here, and I'm thinking, and that would have just covered up way too much. But anyway, I wanted the one with the flowers, and I thought that would be really cute. Oops, I'm gonna need that in a second. And then our stitched framelits or dies, those are really popular. Those have been around a long time. That's what I used here. And I love the circles because you don't have to worry about the positioning being crooked or upside around. And I'm just doing a little bit. And then the circles, it's very easy to have it straight, so to speak. And then we're gonna put our beautiful white dove right here. And then I use the bone folder to kind of fluff up the wings a little bit. And I've got a strip of this beautiful gold that I'm going to make a bow out of. Just make 2 rabbit ears. This one might be too small, but I do try to use up my little pieces if I can. And then we're going to tuck one ear under. Yep, that one's small. Let's try another one. I think this is my second, maybe even my third spool of this ribbon. It's gorgeous. Gold striped mesh ribbon. It is beautiful. I believe it's an online exclusive. After just kind of work the ribbon a little bit. Pull on it till I get the bow that I want. Just keep pulling it through, tighten it. There we go. That looks good. And I'm going to use a glue dot. To me, that's the best adhesive with ribbon. Just going to kind of put it up there. You want to make sure that it's going to fit inside your card. And then we've got this gorgeous strawberry slush and pink gems that we're going to use. And I'm going to use one of the big ones right down here. And a small one next. Right there. You can't see the other one over here. It's kind of hidden, but I put it up at the top. I'm going to put one of these clear ones like right there. Love all of the different pinks that we have available. So again, use whatever beautiful pink you have in your stash. And that is the first card with this Love and Courage, the beautiful dove. And then we have one more card using this stamp set. This one's it's a fun fold that we've done many, many times before. And it's also got a technique. And I tried to case the sample in the catalog, but I don't know if you can see. And so I just turned it into Love and Hope for the inside. And then this is the two-tone cardstock. So it's a lighter color here, and that's Cloud Cover for the blue, the end color. So this is highlighting the end colors, I guess you could say. Because we've also got the Pretty in Pink, and we've got Petunia Pop, the carryover for Love and Hope. Okay. And I'm using a thick cardstock, thick white that is, for the base, since we're going to have some layering here. And I also have a sanding block, or like a nail file, because when you put the two-tone color through, it kind of, you can see some of the white that pops up. But if you want a little bit more, and I did, then you just kind of rub it over it. And then a little bit more will pop up. Kind of breaks down the fibers a little bit. This is Cloud Cover. And while I'm thinking about that, let me just share with you what you've probably had shared before. This is that two-tone cardstock at a convention last March of this year. This is kind of showing that same idea right here. And you can see that it's two-toned. You can tear it, and you can see that the white fibers on the inside. It's really, really cool. I don't know how they come up with that, but it's very cool. Two-tone cardstock. So be sure and get you some of those packs. I think there's even some on the last chance list. Imagine that. So I definitely threw one of those in my cart. All right, so here is our card base. Oops. I got such a fun mess up here. Like I said, I'm kind of in the middle of working on some other projects, and I get so distracted. All right, so this is our card base. I'm going to use our bone folder to burnish the score lines. So it's basically 5.5 by 4.25. I'm not saying that right. That doesn't sound right. Hold on just a second. 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4 and scored at 2 1/8. So basically the 2 1/8 is half, or you can just bring over the front of your card. Just like that. That's our fun fold. And this is a fun fold that you can use this direction. You can turn it and make it this direction. I mean, it's a very versatile fold. And I'm sure many of you have used it before. All right, so I'm going to find that sweet spot right there. I'm going to hold down one side, lift up the flap, and I'm going to add my adhesive just to that side. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit in the middle because we've got this gorgeous in color ribbon, pretty in pink. And we're going to cross it just like that, and then touch the paper. There it is. Almost forgot. We're also going to use our cutter tonight too, so we need to stamp first. All right. So we're going to stamp on Pretty in Pink. We're going to use Petunia Pop. And this one is very inked up. Love it. All right. Press down for a couple of seconds, let that ink soak in. Gorgeous. Now while that's drying, we're going to do something else with it. However, let's go ahead. Love is going to be the first one. I have to check my sample for the inside. So we're going to stamp with the Petunia Pop, Love. Isn't that pretty? And then the ribbon, we're going to stamp in Pretty in Pink for the inside. And then Hope in Petunia Pop as well. Now, that's the inside. So for the technique on this, we're going to get our trimmer out. And we're going to trim it in half. It's not going to be a perfect half, but it's going to be close. Ooh, that was very close. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this one down. And then this one, this side, we're going to put on dimensionals. And I'm going to use 4 this time. I think I used 3, but I wanted to pop it up. Just like that. There we go. So I don't know if you can see. Love and Hope. All right. Ooh, I've got a big old mess here. And so now, again, we're going to use these same beautiful embellishments, Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Gems, because again, all these beautiful pinks go together. We're going to use this big gem right here at the bottom, and a couple of these small ones right over here. Just like that. Beautiful. Beautiful cards. Fun fold. The beautiful dove. Absolutely love this stamp set. It may have been overlooked. It's at the beginning of the new mini catalog. It's part of the stamp sale that ends at midnight, Central Time, Mountain Time, whatever that time is in your zone. Love and Courage. Be sure and add that one to your cart as well. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next week for some 3D and some new ideas with pine tree trimmings and the gingerbread. And there is another one too that I've been playing with. So there's a couple of ideas that are brewing. So be sure and tune in next week as well. Happy stamping.